Hi.
Hi.
So we're here for your retreat, ayahuasca retreat, and so you never done it before?
No, this is my first time.
And this evening, this night, will be your first time?
Yes.
And first, how can you describe yourself about your life? I don't know.
I guess I'm just your average person.
Okay.
I work for a living.
Yeah.
I have some extracurricular hobbies and interests. This being one of them.
Yeah.
I have a working life.
Okay.
I have my family around me. I'd say that's pretty normal.
Okay.
That's
Perfect.
That's my history.
All right. And so, how did you heard about ayahuasca?
The first time I actually heard about it was from a book I was reading, written by David Icke a few years ago. It's a more conspiracy kind of book.
Yeah.
I heard about he had an experience with ayahuasca.
Okay.
I heard his experience, and that was about 10 years ago.
All right.
So since then, when I first heard about it, I felt some connection that I wanted to. I've just carried on trying to learn more, keep reading about it, and now I've finally built up the courage to come and try it.
All right. Well, can you remind me the name of the book?
David Icke. It was called The Biggest Secret.
Okay, The Biggest Secret.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
he talks about it's mainly about government and how they're against the people. It's mainly about conspiracy, but there's a whole chapter on his experience in Peru with ayahuasca and everything he experienced.
All
It
right.
sounded magical, so it got my attention.
Oh, great. And so, why did you decide to do it?
Why? Can I be completely honest? Yeah, I've had.
You can.
Yeah, I've had in the last few years. I've had a bit of an issue with drugs.
Okay.
Which I want to put an end to. Not good for me. Not good for my family.
Yeah.
I had a heart attack 5 years ago. 5 minutes away from dying. So it's changed my perspective on life, and I've been reading about it more and more, and it seems to help and heal people, not necessarily with my type of problems, with all kinds of problems. It seems to have a positive influence, and yeah.
Okay. Good. And
So sorry, the answer was I want to be a better person. I want to, obviously, the bad things that I've been doing, I want to stop.
Okay.
And I just want to be a better human being.
All right. Okay. And now that we are here, and we are a few hours from the experience.
Yeah.
Are you scared? How do you feel?
I'm scared. I'm not going to lie. I was more frightened in the last week. Now I'm still a bit scared, but it's changed more to a little bit of excitement and a little bit more than just nerves.
Okay.
And obviously, having spent a day and a half with other people here that are also doing the ceremony with me, it's made me feel better, because everybody seems like we have a nice group. And the one thing that was putting me off was maybe coming here, not having met anybody, doing it straight away, and then being with a bunch of strangers. Maybe you don't know how people will behave, but we've all had a chance to speak, and I feel a lot more relaxed.
Okay, great. And why did you choose that place precisely in Portugal with Geraldine Correa?
Okay, the main reason is a lot of the other places we were looking at in Portugal, Holland and Peru was they didn't use just the two plants, the ayahuasca and the MAO inhibitor. They used 4, some places use 6 plants I've never even heard of. And from my own research, it's recommended that you stick to a place that only use the 2 plants. So that was the first main reason why I decided to come here to Portugal. And on top of that, we had a Skype interview with Geraldine Correa last week. I had some last minute nerves because I have a health condition, and I wanted to discuss a few things with her, and we got a really nice vibe and felt some warmth. I felt safe coming here.
Okay, great. So I think that we're done for today.
Okay.
We'll do the interview tomorrow, after tomorrow.
We've had the ceremony.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you.
Hi Ash, so we're back for the second part of the interview. So since the first one where you did 2 nights with the ayahuasca, so could you tell me more about your experiences?
Yes, of course. So the first night I think it was more a cleansing for me of my emotions, stored up negativity. So I didn't see any visions on the first night, and I wasn't vomiting or anything, but I was crying for 2-3 hours non-stop. I didn't actually know why I was crying or why I was upset, but the point remains that I was releasing things that needed to come out. A lot of it was linked to a couple of thoughts came into my head about why I may be feeling this way, and it was stemming from my relationship with my father as a child, maybe slight childhood traumas maybe that I had suppressed, which I didn't really want to look at, but it was coming to the surface through the medicine. And I only managed to stop crying when the shaman sang me an individual song. After that, like I said, I didn't see any visions, but I did feel lighter and like I had less emotional baggage. That was the first night.
Okay.
Shall I start with the second night now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the second night, obviously last night, slight bit of frustration. I'll just go into a bit of depth. So I have a blood clot in my heart and a heart condition, as I had a heart attack 5 years ago. So the reason why on the first night the shamans gave me a small dose was just in case my heart rate increased, and it was as a safety measure. So before the ceremony yesterday, I spoke to the shamans in private, and they agreed with me they will give me the same full glass as a first dose that they're giving to everybody else. When I came into the ceremony, they didn't stick to our agreement, and they gave me the same amount they gave me the night before. I complained slightly and asked them that we agreed you'd give me more. They said on the second shot that you take, if you want to come up for more, we'll give you more. So I sat down. I didn't feel anything for about half an hour, but I touched my forehead at one point and I realised that my face was absolutely dripping with cold sweat. So it was having a physical effect on me. I had an extreme headache and nauseous feeling like I was going to throw up. When they called us to have the second glass, I went thinking now I'll get some more so I can get more involved with the ayahuasca. But they gave me even less than the first one, so it gave me a bit of frustration and a slightly negative feeling, because I wasn't really feeling happy with the shamans for breaking our agreement. But as soon as I had the second one, I began to purge, and I hadn't vomited once since I'd arrived. Because of my heart condition, the first day they gave me a laxative instead of a purge for my health, just in case. But when I did, it was strange. I've never vomited like this. Normally you salivate first and you feel it coming. I was feeling completely fine, and it's like it exploded out of me, like it needed to get rid of something, which made me feel really good. After that, I felt lighter again, but I didn't see any visions or anything like that. It was more physical work that was being done yesterday.
Okay. And about your experience, what was the good, like the best event that you felt during your experiences?
Sorry,
what was the best part of this experience?
The best part of the experience was two things. One of them's not related to the medicine. I'll speak about that second. But the first one was the first night, when I couldn't stop my tears coming out and all the emotions. When the shamans gave me an individual song, it was like I was feeling so much love from the shaman. And because of the stuff surfacing with my father, I felt as if this is what I should have been receiving from my father, which I never received. It gave me such a warm feeling, like something was hugging me and keeping me safe, and it stopped my crying on the spot. And I was trying for 2-3 hours to stop my crying. I couldn't, but the song, the way he sang to me, did it for me, which was a beautiful feeling. And the second part, which is equally as good, was it wasn't nothing to do with the medicine. It was for people that had aborted a baby, and we'd never given the child a funeral rites, which means the child's soul wasn't resting in peace. So this was nothing part of the program. It wasn't anything they charged for, but it was lovely of the shamans to take us to put the baby's soul to put the baby's
breathe deeply.
Put the babies, it was 2 abortions, so they gave us clay to make a shape of a baby. We had to bury them, give them a funerals, and to put their soul to rest. And we didn't realise that for all these years we may have been torturing the child's soul. So it was really, really touching, and I really appreciate the shamans for doing that, because I wasn't aware that we'd done something this on this kind of level, and to do that ritual with us was beautiful of them to even conduct with us, and it was a really special moment.
Okay, good. Yeah. And the worst part for you about your experiences?
The worst part was the first day with the alternative purge that I had to come out of my bowel movements. It was so bad that I couldn't even sit down. There was so much physical pain on my bottom. But at the same time, it was good because I got everything out. And then the worst part was obviously the shamans going against the agreement we made about the dose they were going to give me, because I thought, of all places, this isn't a place to be breaking your word, or not a place for any lies. So that disappointed me slightly.
Okay.
But they are the experts. They have their reasons, I'm sure.
So after those experiences with the ayahuasca, do you feel that that it brought you answers, or it gave you something that you were looking for?
Well, it gave me something that I didn't know I was looking for, but should have received, like with the funeral rites. So I feel as if I've corrected a few wrongs that I've done in my life. With all the emotions and the crying coming out, I feel as if I feel lighter. But apart from a couple of the issues with my father, I'm not really sure what the other emotions were about. But that's left me slightly confused. But as they say, the teachers and the shamans, that you may not get answers straight away. It may be in the coming days, weeks, or even months sometimes. So I'm not going to make a complete judgment. I'm going to give it some time and see what happens. But all in all, I do feel lighter. That's for sure.
Okay, good. And so from what you experienced, do you think that is it a therapy for you?
Right now, I've always linked therapy with answers. So I feel as if I've had half the therapy. And maybe the other half is still going to come, or maybe I need to come back and maybe do some more. But after this experience, I think it's definitely cleansed me on a physical level, and I definitely still would like to come back and do some more.
Okay. And during the ceremonies, did you feel any danger about ayahuasca or the context of the ceremony?
I didn't feel any danger as such, but I felt nervousness and apprehension, just not knowing what to expect. But I guess that's natural for everyone doing it for the first time. But in this specific place, I did feel safe.
Okay. And now that you experience ayahuasca, do you advise to try ayahuasca for the people who need it? I
do advise, even though I haven't got my answers yet. I know for a fact something, I can't explain how I know, but I know within me that they've cleaned some dirt and some negative things that I needed to release out of my body and my being. So I definitely recommend it, even if it's on that smaller level. I still think it would help people.
Okay. If you have to describe your experience with a word or a phrase, what can it be? What could it be?
Maybe I expected too much.
Okay.
And I didn't get what I expected.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we will see you soon in London.
Yes.
And we do the third part.
No problem.
Okay, thank you.